Okay, so you're applying to some competitive programs and you want to know how are you going to use summer to get an admissions advantage. Well, we're here to cover that today. My name is Jason, this is Admission Prep, and we've helped thousands and thousands of students on this journey, and so we're going to share our perspectives with you on that today. And mostly I want to save you a bunch of time and money and also help you prepare so that you're not scrambling at the last minute. So let's start off with the different archetypes of summer students. The first is the resume pattern. Now the resume pattern is gonna do 15, 20, I'm exaggerating, but a lot of activities. And each of these activities is done and they're busy, 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 but there's no depth to any of these activities. They're not necessarily something that a student is passionate about. They're just things because they think it'll look good on a bullet point on a resume. Now the second is the course grinder. So this student is just gonna crush summer school and really lock in and do a bunch of courses. They're not gonna do any extracurriculars, they're not gonna rest, they're not gonna recharge, they're just gonna do summer school. Now there's nothing wrong with this, but there can be some schools that don't like to see that certain prerequisites are done in the summer. Now this can be an advantage, but it also doesn't allow students the opportunity to rest and recharge and build on their passions. Speaking of recharging, that's the third archetype, which is the rested recharger. So the student and the family who really is just pure leisure. They're not doing anything extracurricular and they're not doing anything academic. They're resting and recovering, which is great because you want to avoid burnout, but it does miss out on some opportunities to be strategic about building both extracurriculars and strategic summer school. Lastly, we have our ideal, the strategic builder. So let's cover the different aspects of the strategic builder's summer. The first is that you do have some academic awareness. Now, that might mean that, early on in 9th grade, you actually end up not doing anything, or maybe it's later on in grade 12, you don't do anything academic. And the main reason here, or the main thing you can do here is you can take a course that is not a prerequisite or a main course that allows you to accelerate or pull some courses forward or lighten your load during the year. And the reason you want to do that is because it's going to, like I said, lighten your load. It's going to allow you to work a little bit ahead, but it's also not doing a prerequisite in the summer when some schools, not all schools, and don't take this as saying that if you take a summer school that you are hopeless, that's not the case, but there are some schools that don't like to see prerequisites done in the summer. And when I say don't like, what does that actually mean? Well, that might mean that if you're at a competitive GPA with other students, let's say it's like your program is like a 92, 93, and you're at a 92, 93, and you took all your prerequisites in the summer, there are a couple notable schools that have a look at that and might say, this person doesn't quite stack up academically because we see when they took their courses. And when I say that, it really is 2 or 3 schools. So it's not the end of the world if you take that, but it's just something for you to be cognizant of, and then that should inform your strategy of taking non-essential courses in the summer if you can. If you don't have the choice, not a huge deal, but you should just be aware of that. The second part is that the student is going to take part in something where they create value in their community, where they give back, where they create impact, and something that they themselves are passionate about. Now, what's nice is in the summer, you have a bit more free time, so you can do something small that ends up compounding over years. So if you start this in grade 9, 10, and 11, you continue doing that, then by the time you get to grade 12, it has actually snowballed into something much bigger. If you wait, then you're trying to sprint to get some sort of impact happening in 11th grade, then it doesn't tend to look as good, and then you also rushed it and you're probably feeling stressed out. So that's why taking initiative and doing a passion project in the summers, a little one, is really important. Now there can be an opportunity to start to understand and explore what careers you might pursue. So you might, as a student, and the thing is, here's a little secret, is that professionals and people that are in the workplace, they love helping students. They feel good about it. So there's often an opportunity to play the student card and shadow someone that you'd like to eventually work with one day, or the career you'd like to work in one day. And that might be a physician or a dentist or a lawyer or something like that. And this might be your opportunity to do that lightly. Another key piece to this is skill acquisition and becoming genuinely good at something. So that might mean developing a hobby, that might mean developing your arts and crafts skills or an athletic skill or something that you can actually later speak to. And again, if you start this early, it's a skill that can compound and build. And again, you can show your own personal interest and passion in that skill. And lastly, you do want to make sure that you have that time for rest and reflection. You don't want to be pushing all of this so hard that you don't get a chance to recharge. And that is important because if you're going to be going hard throughout the school year, then if you are burning yourself out and not taking that time to rest and reflect, then you end up really crashing and burning during the school year. And that's not good for anyone. So the strategic builder touches on all 5 of these areas in balance. Now, a really common question we ask is, should I do this program in the summer or should I do that program in the summer, or is this a waste of time or is this a waste of money? Here are the things you want to look for with summer programs. One is that they actually are going to help you build a skill and something that you're going to be able to talk about in the future. 2 is that the investment fits what your family can afford. If you have a healthy budget for that, awesome. If you don't feel the need to do it don't feel the need to do it because you feel that it's make or break for admissions. It's not. It is an enrichment opportunity. What you can do instead is, as I mentioned, do a passion project, create an initiative, build a skill yourself. The other part of these summer enrichment programs that can be really helpful is being in an environment surrounded by peers that you're going to eventually go to university with. Sometimes when you're at your school or in your community, you aren't always surrounded by like-minded people. It's great to come together with youth across the country to find other like-minded people that you're going to eventually go to university with. And one more is if you can create great connections with the counselors or teachers or professors that are involved, and they might end up being a reference for you one day. So that is a huge asset as well. Now, red flags and things you should just be aware of, doesn't mean that they're not a good idea, is just be aware of, is the super prestigious pre-university camps. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but they definitely sell you on the name, but you don't always get the skills out of it that you think you will, and they're not really impressing anyone because they are pay to play. So admissions committees and admissions officers aren't looking at that and saying, oh yeah, this person actually got into Stanford because they went to a Stanford summer camp. They know it was pay to play, and that doesn't really stand out on an application. The other is like a really standard leadership camp. Like there are these camps all over the place that are, leadership, but you don't actually build any skills. You don't really form any deep connections. And yeah, it's something you can put on a resume, but again, it's not going to stand out. Now, the last advantage for using the summer is if you're in the 11th grade and you're preparing for grade 12, this is your ideal time to prepare for applications. Grade 12 is hard. The timelines are very surprising. And typically what happens is the applications open much earlier than students think. And then they start to close, the deadlines close, usually around finals time. It's all bunched in there. Your winter vacation, your finals, and university application deadlines are all due within about a month to 45 days of each other. That's a lot packed in. So the students that get in, the students that do the best, the students that are also the least stressed, they begin their preparation in the summer between grade 11 and grade 12. What do? They prepare a brag sheet, a list of all the activities. They begin editing and structuring that into a star structure. They also even start to pre-write and draft some of the applications because there's some schools whose questions either don't or barely change every year. So smart students are using grade 11 and grade 12 to get that preparation done. And you should too. Now, if you'd like to learn more admission tips and strategies, follow us at Admission Prep on YouTube here. Make sure you subscribe and like this video so more content like this shows up. And if you want to learn how we can help you, we're going to put a link in the description where you can find out more about us. Thanks for watching.